But there's something you talked about that I think that a lot of people also, who are youth, will perhaps be thinking about, especially for the conversations with the youths. If they're not in office, very few people will get the opportunity, when we think about it really, to go into elected position. But more of them will be followers, will be the electorate, and they're also interestingly also youths too. So either way, they're either leaders elected or they're also going to elect those who get into office. The number one thing they will talk, even though the NSAS began in Delta State, it did eventually have the biggest impact and effect in Lagos State. The riots, of course, spread all across, and we unfortunately left to deal with the damage. Security is a major issue. If you talk to any youth, any young person, young boy on the street, the first thing they tell you is the problems they're facing is going to be employment, but security will keep running through their minds. Their confrontations with the police is often a major issue. I mean, I got a conversation with some young men, and I was talking with them, and I said, if you got into trouble today, I saw you the other day, some policemen walked into this neighborhood. You took off. I said, you didn't do anything wrong. I felt that what you should have done was to approach the policemen. If they said, come, and you said, look, I have nothing wrong here. They said, let's go to the station. I said, you go with them to the station, and then you can trash out what the issue is. And at the end of the day, you're okay. They said, Oga, you're blowing grammar. They said, that thing where you talk is the thing that they say in the studios and in the boardrooms. They say, on the street, we have our own laws and our own rules. That when you see the police, you run, whether you're innocent or guilty. Hard as I tried to convince this group of young men, they just laughed, and then I realized it was mission impossible to get people to work in sync. So elected officials don't seem to understand this fear of the youth with the security. If you elected, for example, what do you think is wrong with the way the youth and their number one enemy now, which is security agents, is being portrayed and can be dealt with?
First of all, the system, the security architecture in relation to the police, right? The welfare of a person that you give a gun to carry and secure your states or your country is very poor. Right now, we can say they've sworn an oath, the way we'll say doctors have sworn an oath to take care of people that are sick. These people have sworn an oath to take care of people in the state. But their welfare is paramount. We need to review all of that. We need to ensure that these people that have guns are well taken care of. Yes, greed comes in, but there should be a minimum level of quality of life that you've set for a person you've given a gun. Now, what I've seen is a situation where you've given somebody a gun, a uniform, and there's a certain level of predation that's happening on the streets of Lagos. You see young men with laptops, phones, I see it happen all the time. You're coming home, you're seeing them just stopping some young man who's coming out of the car and they're searching him and all of that. Why? Because they feel they can get away with it. Why should I have not done anything wrong and you want to take me to the police station? You're wasting my time. With all the traffic in Lagos already, I'm barely working at maximum efficiency and you're going to take me out of that and take me to a police station. I don't want that, right? That's not ideal. So for me, from leadership, you've seen situations where governors, I remember during Ambode's time, there were a lot of things that he did to sort of enhance the quality of life of the police, right? Enhance the way that they operate and all of that. And this should carry on and this should be done. And there should be serious conversations with the police to ensure that they understand that this is Lagos, right? The citizen is important and you cannot just trample on their rights, right? And you need to set examples. So, for instance, something that's very beautiful in Lagos State is Domestic Violence Response Team.
Right.
And this was an organization set up to do something after people going through violence and rape and all that. Things like that should exist for police brutality, right? Where an organization will start looking actively into damage done by the police on the citizens of Lagos. So, and then in that regard, you then reinforce the relationship of you are protecting and we are the protected. Not you are the predator and we are the prey, right? And until then, people will continue to run and not feel safe around the police and laugh when you say police is your friend.